G'day, I'm Mark from Self-Sufficient Me, and I've been doing a ton of work in the vegetable garden this summer. It's been a complete makeover and I'm excited to show it to you because the good news is I've been filming most of it. So over the next several months I'm going to be bringing you a whole heap of new videos on what I've been doing to get this place looking a lot better than it was, to be quite frank. This video today shows, it's a bit of a disaster I suppose, a bit of a sad story, how I purchased some imitation wine barrels thinking that I might get away with it. They're only 20 bucks each. I needed 3 because my idea was to grow some dwarf avocados in pots because we have a hard time growing them in the ground here due to a root rot fungus that gets into the root system and kills the plant off. So I thought I'll get these big pots nice and cheap, 20 bucks each, can't go wrong, but it did. Unfortunately, the banding that were around the barrels rusted, so I had to try to patch that up with some fencing wire. Then the wood rotted out and the base rotted off. So this video shows, actually where I'm standing, right here, is where one of the pots was. And this video shows the dramas of me trying to relocate this avocado and give it a better life. I hope you enjoy the video. Let's get into it.
So at this point in time I had gravel pathways all around my vegetable garden, so I had to clear the decks first and then I had to use a crowbar because the avocado had actually rooted through the rotten base of the pot. Then I used a trolley jack, and you can see there, had a pretty hard time. It was damn heavy. But this was the only way I thought that I could think of to actually move the thing. And it worked in the end, thankfully. I have another avocado as well that I moved the same way. But I barely got it to the spot that I wanted. And then I found this at our local garden centre. It's a galvanised raised garden bed. And it can be just put together really quickly by sliding the galvanized sheet into the plastic side or corner post. I reckon this is a great little invention. So there's no screws or anything like that involved. It sits in there really solidly, and then it has, or each corner has, a cap that goes over the top. These things, this garden bed there, if you wanted to put vegetables in it, it's a great little mini garden bed. It's 40 centimetres high or a foot high, and it just fitted perfectly around that tree. They're only about 100 bucks. Then of course I didn't want to use any of my own compost or soil because I'm worried that these avocado trees are going to get root rot fungus. So to protect it for as long as possible, I used that type of organic soil from the garden centre. It's got gypsum in it, so it's going to help the avocado grow, as they do like gypsum and lime, and I topped it off with some mulch. If I can get this avocado tree in a few years more growth and it starts fruiting, I'll get it into a more mature state, and then it's more likely to withhold or withstand any outbreak of root rot fungus. Here's another pot. Unfortunately, one of my avocados that I had in there on the end died, so I put strawberries in it. That worked really well, but of course the pot just rotted out anyway. So for this one, I obviously didn't need to move it because it didn't have a tree in it. So all I did was spread it out, because at this stage I was grassing my pathways, so turning that gravel back into grass, and I've got more videos of that coming up. So you can see we go around the tank, which I've refurbed as well, and around the side, my old compost heaps was on the left hand side there. I've got new compost heaps now, I've relocated them, and this is at the back of my shed. So this avocado doesn't get the morning sun, it gets the afternoon sun, and it's in a really good spot. It's in good high ground, so hopefully it won't get waterlogged, and I think it'll grow very well in this spot here. This is about 3-4 weeks on, or maybe more, maybe 6 weeks, so you can see it's growing excellently there. We go across the patch again. It looks a lot better, that grass. You can see that across the other side into my orchard that I've got the other avocado that I had growing in the third pot, and I've relocated it to that spot over there, and that's going good too. A little bit of parsley on the side, and that's that.
Well, that's it. I think you'll agree this is a much better spot and growing pot, garden bed, for this avocado plant. Let me say it again, I was wrong. Don't try to cheap out when you're thinking wine barrels in the garden. I think wine barrels look great in the garden, I really do, but you really need to fork out and buy the real deal ones, the real thick wooden proper wine barrels with the good thick galvanized banding. They look terrific. Don't cheap out like I did, because in the end you'll end up with more heartache and extra work than it's worth. Thanks a lot for watching. Stay tuned to all these other videos that I'm going to be producing over the next several months. Go to my blog if you want to see some of my written work, selfsufficientme.com. We've got a forum, selfsufficientculture.com. If you want to join that, we run some competitions sometimes for small prizes. Doesn't matter where you are in the world, we'll have you. Thank you very much. Bye for now.